Right, guys, welcome to Fit as a Fanny. Sorry, I just told Sam that when I went to Disneyland Paris, Rafiki touched my bum and now she can't stop laughing. But I'm Gemma and this is...
I'm Sam.
And today, we're going to talk to you all things excuses.
Yes.
Because I don't know whether it's just the time of the year, but there's been a lot of them knocking about for me this week.
I think as well, now the 100, I'm getting them quite a bit at the minute. And I think now we've obviously had a really long stretch of really crap weather.
Yes.
And now that it's starting to get nicer, people are just like, I think when the sun gets nicer, people tend to drop off a little bit.
Yeah.
It's a bit like, well, we went out all day.
Yeah.
I was out all day with the kids or whatever,
Yeah.
so I've not had time to do that or this, that and the other. And a lot of that, when it's I've not had time to, comes down to planning your time.
Absolutely.
Like as a business owner, a small business owner, I have to plan my time within minutes.
Yeah, within 5-minute increments.
100%, because if I don't, I can't get through everything I need to do. I can't get through checking in with my clients.
Yeah.
I can't get through planning workouts. I can't get through all the admin that comes along with running a business, the account side, my own training, my own social life, visiting family, things like that, eating. I have to plan when I eat.
Yeah.
Because some of my sessions might be over dinner time.
Yeah.
So it is all about, when it comes to most of the excuses, it is very much about you just have to plan your time better.
Yeah, exactly. And it's prioritizing
100%.
planning that time. And do you know, so the one client, so you'll probably hear a lot of client not client testimonials, but client examples throughout this, because we've got client examples. But I had a client years ago who said to me, I just don't have the time to cook dinner each night. And I was like, right, okay. And she's like, between picking the kids up from here and dropping them off from here and this and this and this and this. And she was like, I just end up nipping the shop and grabbing something. I was like, right, okay, so how many nights a week do you think you're nipping to the shop and grabbing something? She's like, probably like 3 or 4 nights a week. I was like, right, okay, and how much time are you spending in the shop when you're just nipping? Probably 15 to 20 minutes. All right, so you're spending a good hour to an hour and 20 minutes a week just nipping into the shop.
It's not just nipping, is it?
Plus your weekly shop that you do at the weekend. So you can say at least 2 hours, maybe 2.5 hours are spent in the shop.
Yeah.
And I said to her, okay, how long, so if you just did the shop at the weekend, how long would it take you? About an hour. And I know from my own experience that I can meal prep 3 different meals in an hour. Slow cook,
100%.
easy. Slow cooker, oven, pan on the thing, dead easy. Like you can slow cook whatever.
And if you've got an air fryer, game changer.
Oh my God, I need an air fryer.
Oh, you do?
I literally...
So my prep time now, so for example, I will tend to prep most of my stuff on like a Sunday.
Yeah.
For the week. So I'll have and it'll be my evening meals more so than
Yeah.
Because anything else, then my breakfast and stuff like that, well, I have got into a new little recipe called, and they're like chorizo and egg muffins, and they are to die for.
Really?
But you can cook them, and then you can obviously put them in the fridge.
Yeah.
So I've done say 12.
Amazing.
And I'll have 2 of the morning, and that's like a little breakfast snack for me on my way out at like 6 a.m. in the morning. So things like that. So I'll prep stuff like that so I know that I'm getting my breakfast.
Yeah.
And then I'll do my evening meal. And what I'll do is while I'm prepping my evening meal stuff, I might have something in the slow cooker, which I'll do say 2 lunches and 2 dinners as one person.
Yeah.
But obviously if you've got a family of 4 or 5, then that's a whole evening's meal done, dusted.
Done.
It takes 15 minutes to rack everything and you leave it 4 hours to 8 hours, depending on what setting you've got it on.
Or unless you forget about it.
I had to buy a slow cooker because I used to do this quite a lot. I'd make a curry, like a sweet potato and chicken curry, like quite a clean curry. Put it on because it obviously had to cook on the pan, and I left the house and forgot it was on. Drove 20 minutes away from the house, realised, had to ring my dad. I was like, Dad, you're going to have to go to mine because I haven't turned my hob off. And when he came, the whole kitchen was filled of smoke to the point where I had to get my friend to come and repaint my whole kitchen. It took weeks to get the smoke out of the house. How the house didn't burn down, I'll never know.
Yeah, get a slow cooker, guys.
So I had to get a slow cooker for that reason. But while that slow cooker is starting then, I'll do like Cajun chicken, so chicken breast in like Cajun spices with a bit of lime, bit of olive oil, whack them like 4, I can probably get say 3 chicken breasts in I've only got a small air fryer.
Yeah.
Get 3 chicken breasts in my air fryer. Well, that's a chicken salad that then for me for 3 days.
Yeah, exactly. And this is what I was trying to get across to her, is that if you probably spend 1 hour doing your shop, you know, you're an online, you do all your shopping online. I like to go, but
I can't be asked for people.
Well, this is what, but I don't go on a day when there are people.
You need to not be in my way.
Yeah,
I'm shopping.
yeah.
I want to be in and out and done, so doing it online is much better.
I was fed up with adulting on Saturday, and I had to go and do the Asda shop, and what would normally take me 45 minutes took me 90 minutes because people just kept getting in my way.
If it had got to the 45-minute mark, and I'd be like, my shop would have been done by now, I'd have left.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right.
I'd be like, I ain't got the time to be here for another 45 minutes to do the rest of this shop. I'll have to come back at another point.
Yeah, so normally I do it at a quiet time. But having said that, you say 60 minutes of shopping and then 60 minutes of meal prep. That's 2 hours a week versus 2.5 hours a week. And you're actually getting something more substantial, you're actually getting something more nutritious, more in line with your goals, and more filling and cheaper.
And also, you're technically gaining that time back. So that, say, extra hour on top of your hour food shop of the weekend, that extra hour that you're adding on, if it's in one go. Yeah. So you're now getting 20-30 minutes of your evening back every single
100%.
And I would much prefer for our kids to be spending that with the kids
in the evening
rather than in the Tesco, or going for a run, or do you know what I mean, doing something for me rather than just nipping to get something because I haven't actually pre-planned my week and I get it, not everybody wants to pre-prep, but it doesn't stop you from planning your meals. So that before you go shopping, you know exactly what it is you need to buy in, so that you can do quick 20-minute recipes. And I mean, like, there are loads of 15, 20-minute recipes out there that you can use. Yeah, absolutely.
One of my clients is really, really, really good at doing that. She only buys for the week exactly what she needs. And so she'll plan out, like, Monday we're having this, Tuesday we're having this, Wednesday we're having this, Thursday we're having this. And she is really good at doing it, because then you know exactly what you're doing. It takes away that thinking time and you just do it. I'm a batch cooker, so I will cook. If I'm having a big cook, I will cook, 18 of the same meal. And then whack it in the freezer, so that when it comes to a certain night of the week you don't know what to have, you can literally just go into the freezer, get something out, and it's either, microwavable chili, so you just need to make some rice, and the other aspect of it is find cheap ways of doing it. I am a massive fan frozen veg. But when you mix it in with something.
No, I'm just really funny. I don't like.
You don't like cooked carrots,
I don't like cooked carrots. It has to be a raw carrot for me. So I'm really funny. So I have to buy fresh veg rather than frozen, because I would have to heat them up, and I definitely think it's the texture for me. It makes me gag.
You weirdo. Yeah, but anyways, unless you've got one of them in your family,
unless you're a bit like me,
get frozen veg. It is just the same. Yeah. It is frozen at source, so
nutritious. So there's absolutely no difference.
There's no difference whatsoever. No. And a lot of people come to me, and you'll get this as well. What's better for me? What's better for this? Is it fresh veg or frozen veg? Well, but also, will you make and prep fresh veg? No.
So in that instance, then the frozen veg is going to be
because actually the comparison isn't frozen veg versus fresh veg. The comparison is frozen veg versus no veg.
100%.
So find whatever works easy for you. One of my easiest, quickest meals that I will ever do in my entire life. It's not the cheapest at the moment because of everything that's going on, but it's simple, it's quick, and it's still cheaper than going and buying a ready meal every single day, is frozen veg, microwavable rice, pre-cooked salmon.
Most of my lunches, to be fair, are prawns, pre-cooked prawns, pre-cooked salmon, and rice.
This is what I mean.
And honestly, it takes me 3 minutes. I whack the prawns and the salmon in the air fryer.
Yeah.
Or if it's already pre-cooked, you can have it cold.
Yeah, exactly.
I just personally prefer it to be warm, so I will put it in the air fryer for a minute or two just to warm it up. It takes a minute for Uncle Ben's microwavable rice and an assortment of flavours
exactly
to pick from, and that's I know that it's really protein heavy.
Yeah.
It's a good fat.
Yeah.
And it's quick, it's easy, and I know that I can prep 5 of those in, well, let's say max 10 minutes.
Exactly.
And that's my week of lunches done.
Done.
And I don't have to think it's in the fridge. I take it out and I can eat it cold, or I can put it in the microwave and have it warm.
And it's done.
Done, dusted.
And that's the thing, you know, we hear a lot with excuses of, I don't have the time to make fresh meals. I don't have the time to, you know, or people say, oh, well, it's just easy to whack chips in the oven. Yeah, but those chips in the oven take 20 minutes, half an hour, versus whacking some Uncle Ben's rice in the microwave.
I mean, and you can't even have like the excuse of fast food either, because fast food isn't actually really that fast. So if you're at home, so I've done this before now, I've come home and sometimes I'm like, I just don't fancy anything that I've prepped in the fridge. Like,
it happens.
I just don't fancy it. I can't be arsed. And I'll have a full week's worth of food in the fridge. I've done this before now.
Yeah.
And I'll come in and I'll be like, I'm going to order KFC, or I'm going to order a Domino's.
Yeah.
And it'll take like 30 to 45 minutes.
Oh, yes.
I could have cooked what was in the fridge from scratch.
Yeah, exactly.
In the time that fast food arrives.
Exactly. It's the priorities.
100%.
It's the massive priorities, and food, to start with your nutrition, above everything else,
100%.
is probably one of the easier ones to do. That and steps, will come onto that. But your nutrition, because there are so many easy, cheap tips and tricks ways.
It's the most important.
Yeah. If your nutrition isn't right, then you're not going to feel fueled enough to
just
exercise.
Never going to hit any of your goals.
No, you're not going to feel, you know, when you notice, and we're probably more in tune to it because of our lifestyles and what we do, but I know full well when I've had a couple of days of eating not as well because I'm tired, I'm lethargic. So it all rolls on. It's that ripple effect. One goes into the next, goes into the next, goes into the next. And your nutrition is, if anyone comes to me with the excuse of I don't have the time or I can't afford nutritious meals, that's straight away, that's just an excuse. It honestly is, because there are so many ways that you can fix that. Now, a lot of the time it's just education on how to do that.
100%.
Like example, like we said, microwavable rice, who cares? 70p does 2 portions, done. 35p a portion, don't mind if I do. You know, like, absolutely, I'm there. You know, I've worked the maths out, obviously.
Oh, yes.
It's absolutely fine. Frozen veg, a huge kilo bag will be like 90p.
It's frozen, so it lasts forever.
It lasts forever. Whack it in the freezer, slow cooker, whack whatever you can in. Just go down the whoopsie aisle, get some mince. Love the whoopsie aisle. See, this is what you don't get when you online shop, the whoopsie aisle.
Yeah.
I love the whoopsie aisle.
No, I'd rather pay full whack and not have to deal with people. I'll be honest.
I know, but there's no people in the whoopsie aisle on a Monday.
On a Monday, okay.
Oh, it's great. You know, you can get a tiramisu next to beef. I mean, why would you not? But yeah, so nutrition is, and same again, people say, well, it's just cheaper to buy chips. It's not. So bag of chips, £1.10. Bag of rice, 60p. Bag of rice on the stovetop takes 20 minutes. In the oven, 40 minutes for chips, depending on which kind. So price-wise, cheaper. Nutrition-wise, better. Time-wise, easier.
You just have to go and find what works.
Exactly. So nutrition and excuses is definitely one I've had. And steps.
I can't get my steps in, I hate that one. Yes, you can.
Watch, I'm getting my steps in now. Whilst I'm waiting for the kettle to boil.
Well, yes, just listening to the podcast and not viewing on YouTube, Gemma is currently pretending to clean my kitchen and walking up and down the kitchen.
I'm waiting for the kettle to boil.
Yeah,
do you know
now she's dancing.
But you know, like, whilst you're waiting for the kettle to boil, walk around.
But that is the point.
Whilst you're cleaning your teeth, walk around a little bit whilst I don't just walk around.
There are loads of ways. So things like if you aren't an online supermarket shopper and you do go to the supermarket, park further away.
Yeah.
Don't park close, park further away. Yeah, and you get a couple of extra steps in. I mean, if you are going supermarket shopping, you're going to get steps in by walking around. So go to the supermarket rather than buy online then, if that's, do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
That would be a way to do it. But yeah, cleaning will get your steps up.
Yeah.
Yeah, walking up and down the stairs. Yeah, so if you've got 2 toilets or 2 bathrooms in your house, use the upstairs one.
And it is these little, I think sometimes people get so hung up in the big, well, I need to hit 10,000 steps a day, so I'm going to have to go for a run, and that's not going to happen. Or I need to go for an hour's walk a day.
Because then it becomes unrealistic and it's not manageable. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you are somebody that actually sits at a desk all day, and 10,000 steps and going for a run every day, and you've never done more than 2,000 steps, that's an unrealistic start goal. Like, we obviously at some point want you to be at a point where you're hitting 10,000 steps and you're not even thinking about it.
Yeah.
But to start off with, if you only hit 2,000 steps in a day, then think about upping it to 3,000 or to 4,000 and do that first rather than get, oh my God, I've got to get 10. No. You've got to get in more than you already do right now.
Exactly.
And we build slowly.
We build from there. And it's that part.
It's a journey.
Well, exactly. It's not going to happen overnight.
No.
You don't learn as a kid, as a baby, you don't learn to walk overnight. You don't learn to drive overnight. So why are we expecting these things to happen overnight when it comes to, increasing your step count? You don't get a raise at a job overnight. Think of your step count as, a salary. You've got to work at it day after day after day, and it slowly increases. It's the same, but it's walking around whilst the kettle's boiling. That's I just got 20 steps there, boom, let's go. It's parking a little bit further away from the shop, from school, whilst the weather's nice. Do you live close enough where you could walk to school? I've got a shop that's round the corner, and I'm not gonna lie, I drive to it a lot. But I could walk to it. There's certain things that you can do to increase those steps without even thinking about it. And don't focus on, well, I can't hit 10,000 steps, so there's no point. Just add 500, 1,000 to what you're already doing and aim for that. Steps. Everything and same again, these things we're all talking about. Yes, okay, I know some of you are going to be like, well, it's really easy for you because you don't have kids and you don't do this and But actually, we didn't start out like this, and some days I'll look at my watch and I'm like, oh, I'm only at 7,000 steps because I have done sweet FA all day. Saturday, I wasn't adulting, so I just did a few more jobs around the house, and before you knew it, I was back up there and I've got some jobs done. So your step count, because steps, if your goal is fat loss, if your goal is fitness, if your goal is just to be a little bit healthier, steps.
It's easy. It's the easiest one out of all of them to start to implement into your day-to-day life, to start to achieve those goals.
100%.
Simple as.
Because you can just add in that 100 each day. Even if it's 100, if you were yesterday 2,100, now 2,200. One of the ones I said to one of my clients was they were glued to their desk a lot and they had proper old school headphones connected in. I said, get some Bluetooth ones. Oh, well, I can't afford them. All right, but you're paying me 150 quid a month to not achieve what you're wanting to do. And, your headphones are going to be 40, and actually what you're going to be doing, it will help with what you're trying to achieve with me. So 40 quid in the grand scheme of things, not a great deal when it's going to last forever and it's going to increase your step count overnight. That is one thing that would have done it, because you can just, if you're on a call, walk around the house, put a load of washing on at the same time, which then frees up. If you are a home worker and you have got wireless headphones, you'll probably know, you'll put a load of washing on at the same time. I make Andy do it all the time. You put a load of washing on at the same time, or you'll tidy up whilst you're doing it. So not only are you getting those steps in and achieving more things from a fitness goal point of view, but you're actually getting more stuff done around the house, which then frees up your evenings a little bit more, your weekends to do whatever you need to do. So it all has that effect. And if you find looking at steps, looking at nutrition, looking at any of it as like, oh, it's an absolute chore, find the ways that it benefits you, not just from a fitness point of view. oh, actually, if I move around the house a little bit more, I get to put a load of washing on, and then I don't have to do it of an evening. Or actually, if my nutrition's a little bit better, it's going to save me money.
Yeah.
So, and then that money can be saved to go on a holiday or do whatever you want to do. Find the benefit that ties into you better. But the excuses of, well, I just can't hit my steps, I just haven't got the time, they're excuses. And actually, you've got to be really honest with yourself, and you've got to, it's not about finding the time, because the time is there. It's about making the time, making it a priority.
It's about making it a priority, and it's about planning your time wisely.
Yeah.
Like 100%. One, and when it comes to nutrition, one of the big things I have a conversation with my clients about all the time is, I want to see your food diary 3 or 4 days in advance, because I can't help you.
No.
If you're just inputting it in on the day, I can't help you out.
No.
Because you're already eating it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You've already eaten it, or you're already eating it. You've
Yeah.
already decided that's what you're going to have, because that's what you've got in. So, as for me, as a coach, I need you to plan so that I can help you help yourself.
Exactly.
And because otherwise what happens is if you have got specific targets, like calorie targets and protein targets and carb targets and fat targets that you have to hit within a day or over the week, what happens is if you're not pre-planning and you're not thinking about what it is you're going to have for that week, or what kind of, or how you're going to get those steps in the week, you put your breakfast in, you put your lunch in, and then at the end, when you come to do your evening meal, you're like, shit, I've not got enough calories for what I thought I was going to actually have for my tea now.
Yeah.
And then you're over your calories. Now, that's not too bad if that's like a one-off.
Yeah,
right?
oh gosh, yeah.
But if that's happening all the time because you're just not pre-planning, then that becomes a bit of an issue, because you aren't sticking to those targets to then hit your goals.
Yeah, 100%.
And at the end of the week or the end of the month or the end of the 3-month period or whatever period it is, you go, I haven't actually reached the goals that I wanted to go, like this isn't working for me. Well, actually, a lot of that is actually down to the fact that you didn't pre-plan.
Yeah, 100%.
Prior preparation prevents piss poor performance.
That's a lot of P's in one sentence.
The 7 P's. Or the 5 P's. Preparation prevents piss poor performance.
Oh, okay, I like that. That's just too many P's for my... How do you feel about frozen peas, actually?
I'm not a big fan of peas in general, unless they're in like a fried rice. And they do a really good clean fried rice.
I love a good fried
chicken or a special fried rice.
Love it.
Fried rice. That's a really easy one, and you feel like you're getting a little bit of a Chinese in there.
I know, I love it.
Yeah.
And then if you get some whoopsie aisle prawn toast as well, just to throw in a little bit extra in.
Yeah.
But yeah, literally, I do mine veg in, boom, Uncle Ben's rice, microwave rice in, egg in, already pre-cooked chicken that I've had from leftover from the week in, boom, sweet chili sauce, let's go.
Yeah, oh definitely. So like I can now make a really clean, within my calorie and protein target, right? Basically a full Chinese.
Yeah.
So I do like a Beijing shredded beef in the air fryer, and it is to die for.
We need an
Honestly,
air fryer.
it's so good. It takes
Really?
no time at all. And obviously it's the sauce that has most of the calories in, because it's all like hoisin sauce and sweet chili sauce and stuff. But one portion, right, is probably about like 450 calories, and that's including the rice. And it honestly tastes like being at a Chinese restaurant.
Really?
Yeah. And if you put like instead of like just normal rice, like an egg fried rice, for example, do a special fried rice, so you're getting a little bit more like prawns and chicken or a bit of beef in there or whatever.
Interesting. Oh, I need an air
I'll
fryer.
send you the
recipe.
recipe.
I really need an air fryer.
Because with the air fryer, you're not obviously using the oil there. So you put like a bit of corn flour on the beef, you put it in the air fryer, but you're not using like loads of oil to fry that beef then.
Yeah.
You with me?
Yeah.
So you get the crispiness of that beef.
Right.
As
Oh, okay.
well.
I mean, mind blown. You know,
Right.
I really need an air fryer, but
It's about finding those recipes. So even things like that, like you want to have you want to have a Chinese.
Have a Chinese, do it.
At the weekend, you can actually do your own really easily.
Well, yeah. I love that. And it's cheaper.
Yes.
You know, a lot of the stuff in today's climate with everything going on is, there's a lot of talk about money and money being really tight, shall we say. But I read something the other day and it was like, I don't know how you can afford to spend £150 a month on training, or whatever the amount is. And the other person turned around and said, I can't understand how you don't spend £150 a month on training. Because, you know, actually, when you look at it, what you get from that, if you're then getting from us, for example, how you can increase your step count so that you are fitter, able to do a hell of a lot more, you know, and with more movement comes better productivity, better creativity, better mindset. So actually you're feeling a lot better, you're getting a lot more done in work or in your house or with the kids, whatever. Nutrition, we're showing you how to do nutritious meals at a cheaper rate. Yeah. So all of that, and then the other thing is a lot, I was saying before, I've got one client who's, you know, oh, I can't afford this month, I can't afford it at all, but is spending every 2 weeks, every week, nails getting done, hair getting done, eyelashes getting done, Botox, fillers to try and make themselves feel better because they don't like what they see in the mirror, or they're buying more clothes because the ones that they currently have either don't fit or they don't feel comfortable in them. So you take into account all of that, that's a hell of a lot more money than what they would be paying a coach to not have to do all of that.
100%.
And it's a lot more long-standing, it's a lot longer lasting, it's a lot... So actually, yeah, it seems like a lot of money to one place in one go, but it's a hell of a lot cheaper than the alternative.
100%. And also, it depends what you... And really, everybody should be striving for being able to spend more times with their kids, to see them grow up, to see their grandkids, to be around enough to spend, you know, as much time with your loved ones and get the most out of life as you possibly can. If you end up with ailments and diabetes and all of the other health issues that come along with not being healthy, not having a nutritious diet, not being able to move around. I mean, we've spoke about this before.
Yeah.
You can't move around, you can't get the most out of your life.
No.
If your diet is really poor and you end up with, you'll end up with pressure on the heart and, you know, cardiac issues and, you know, then stress levels and all the rest of it. Like, all of those things contribute to you not being able to get the most out of your life.
100%, absolutely. And that's what you're paying for, is to be able to live longer, to do all of that.
I know that's what I pay for. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
When, if I have a trainer, when I pay to go and have a gym membership and things like that.
Yeah.
And when I go and do a food shop and, you know, I think, oh God, that's cost me an absolute fortune or whatever. Do you know what I mean? I think, well, actually, that's contributing to me having a much healthier, longevity of life.
I know you think about people saving to buy a house. Mm-hmm. You cut out the coffee and work every day. You cut out, you know, okay, I won't get my nails done every 2 weeks. I'll get them done once a month. I won't get my hair done every 6 weeks. I'll wait, you know, until it's every 8 or 10. That top's 50 quid, I'll wait until it's in the sale, or I just won't buy it. You make all of those adaptations, you make all of those changes, you buy the home brand beans rather than, you know, which I do anyway, but like things like, you make those changes when you can see that there's that house there to buy. Yeah. You are the house.
Exactly.
If you're going to live in that house forever, you're going to live in this house forever, our bodies, so why not invest in it? Why not? You make small sacrifices elsewhere to have bigger benefits in the future, to live longer, to be able to chase your kids, your grandkids around the garden, to be able to still, you know, I mean, your dad's, and he's not old, but he's running bloody marathons up mountains, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? So
nearly 60.
And exactly. So it's being able to do all of those things, and I sometimes get so frustrated because we don't look at the long-term benefits, because you can't see it now. You can't see now that, okay, if I continue doing this, or if I eat this, or don't get these steps in, or don't look after my nutrition now, I will be diabetic in 10 years' time. But it's in 10 years' time, so it's almost like, well, what does it matter?
And it's about switching short-term satisfaction for long-term gain.
Yeah.
And we're not saying, like, be a really boring person. And
not
all you should do is eat chicken and rice.
Absolutely not.
And go to the gym every single day.
Oh my God, no.
What we're saying is, instead of, if you are somebody that has a bottle of wine every night, right? Instead of 1 bottle of wine every night, make that half.
Yeah.
Right? So make small changes which are going to benefit you and your goals and your longevity in life.
Yeah.
Rather than making the excuses for the short-term satisfaction.
Exactly.
So a lot of the time I get is, you know, like I've been on it for 4 days, but then I'm out on Friday, so I'll be drinking. And then on Saturday, I'm out for, I don't know, an afternoon tea, for example. Yeah. And then I'm going to have a couple of glasses and stuff. Okay, that's absolutely fine. Live your life and do those things. Just don't expect to have reached your goal the week after. Yeah, exactly. Because that's not going to happen.
No. And it's about balance. Some weeks you will have things slightly more, other weeks you won't. You know, some weeks you'll achieve your goals a little bit more, other weeks you won't. And that is absolutely fine. We're talking about the overall excuses of, well, I haven't got the time, or I can't afford it, or I just can't get my steps in, I just can't eat well, it's not as, you know, it's not as easy, or it takes too much time, or it's too expensive. They're all just excuses. And as soon as you remove those excuses and find the solution to the actual problem, you can take a small step in the right direction. And that's all we're asking for. That's all we do with our clients, you know, as coaches. Small steps that build up over time, because it is much better to take a small step and be at point X in 6 weeks' time than try and take huge steps, not achieve anything, and almost take a step back.
100%, because that's what happens.
Oh, absolutely.
Too much too soon, and you end up taking 2 steps back rather than any steps forward.
Exactly, and it's just not ideal. So guys, if anything this week, evaluate where you are putting excuses in. Evaluate those excuses that you're giving to yourselves. If you're saying, I'm just tired, do you need to just get moving? Or I can't fit my steps in. Could you walk around like a nutter in your cousin's kitchen to demonstrate that you can? You know, I can't eat nutritiously. I'm constantly buying food at the shop. Can you prep because of piss poor?
The 5 P's
with prevent something or other.
Preparation
prevents
piss poor performance.
I said that. That's what you know what I meant. So with the P's, what she said. No more excuses, guys. Be really honest with yourselves, and I guarantee you will be taking steps forwards. No matter how small they are, it's still movement forwards. Some progress is better than no progress.
Absolutely.
See you next time.